There are so many crazy things in the world that people try to find explanations for. Magic is often attributed to such situations because it is difficult or impossible to explain them with logic. Surely, many of you have heard about invisible guardian angels that protect people from possible dangers. In hindsight, the person remembers that some unknown force made him stop at that moment, and thanks to this, he managed to avoid something terrible. Today, we will tell you a story about how a wild animal, a huge brown bear, acted as such a guardian angel for a married couple. Get comfortable as we get started. This happened in eastern Siberia, a place where there are a lot of remote villages away from big cities. If some kind of emergency happens in such villages, then sometimes it takes a while to get to the city and get the necessary help, which can sometimes be too late. In one of these villages, the heroes of our story lived. A young man and his wife were expecting their first child to be born soon. For a long time, the husband was trying to persuade his wife to go to the city and go to the hospital before the birth, since her due date was so close. But the woman did not want to leave her home, so she postponed the trip to the hospital until the last moment. That morning, everything happened very quickly. The woman's water suddenly broke and labor began. She needed to be rushed to the hospital. The clock was ticking. The man quickly carried her out of the house in his arms, put her in the car, and then rushed towards the city. He was speeding in hopes to make it in time. It was a clear summer day. The road was clear, but then suddenly the man noticed something huge ahead, lying right in the middle of the road. Slowing down, he drove up to the strange obstruction. Imagine his surprise when he realized it was a huge brown bear lying in front of his vehicle. The road in this place was rather narrow, and trees grew very close to the road on both sides, so he couldn't just drive around the bear. The man honked furiously, trying to drive the bear out of the way, but it did not move. The wife was visibly nervous and groaning from the pain. The man was confused and did not know what to do. Then he decided to take a desperate step. Gathering all his will, he decided to get out of the car and lure the bear out of the way. Opening the door, the man grabbed a loaf of bread that was in the car and slowly walked towards the bear. It just raised its head, looked at the approaching man, and then put its head back down. The man threw the bear directly into the bear's paws and watched what would happen next. The brown beast reluctantly sniffed the bread and then very lazily and slowly began to chew it. The man was very angry that his wife was suffering in the car and he could not do anything about it. It had been about half an hour. The man wanted to get behind the wheel and run over the bear lying on the road when it suddenly got up and just slowly left the road. How happy the man and his wife were. He immediately started the car and drove on, but around the next turn, literally a mile from where the bear was lying on the road, he had to stop the car again. The man looked ahead and could not hold back his tears. Right around the corner, about half an hour ago, there was a huge accident. A heavy truck with a trailer was moving towards them, had lost control, and rolled over. The truck driver and his passenger died at the scene. If our married couple had not been forced to stop because of the bear lying right in the middle of the road, then there is a high probability that their car would certainly have fallen under the wheels of this truck, and now they would also be dead. Only now the man realized why the bear blocked their path and did not let them go forward. He thereby saved them from this accident. But how could a wild bear have foreseen the accident? And even more so, why would he save the people? The man stood, wept, and mentally thanked his savior. He sincerely believed that it was his guardian angel who appeared to him in the form of a wild bear to protect him and his wife and their unborn baby. Soon an ambulance arrived, in which, by the way, the baby was born. His wife gave birth to him in the ambulance at the scene of the accident. After that, they were taken to the city hospital where they received all the necessary medical care. Who knows what tragedy might have happened if the bear had not appeared on his path that day? He thanked this bear for the rest of his life. Friends, if suddenly you are late for something and all sorts of obstacles arise in front of you, just try to stop and think, do you really need to get there so quickly? Or is it your guardian angel trying to keep you from something? Everything in our life does not happen by chance. Let's be more attentive to the signs of fate. Perhaps this is what can protect us from possible misfortune. What do you think about this? Share your opinion in the comments.